Hello.
Okay. So, somebody have any doubts with the IIS server? You
No,
able to
Spandana.
configure it right?
Yeah, I was able to configure it.
Okay, no
Everything
problem.
fine.
This is our Linux instance. Okay. Control. Zero. Jenkins version 2.7.1 is one which we have installed now. Okay. Earlier we were looking at something around 1.6. Okay. If you are, if you're going, it depends on the version of the system on which you're going to work even. If it is a backdated version, it's like 1.6 or something, what happens is all the plugins, whatever you are installing, needs to be configured manually in the configured system section. Okay. They need to be manually configured. But in this scenario, you need not configure anything, but maximum you can start using it directly from the project itself. So wherein in earlier releases, it is all the variables, all the configurations are global. They are global to the setup. So all the setup is for all the setup it is global. But now going ahead with the latest version, it is specific to a project. So for every project you have your own set of configurations. So that's a better option actually. So that is a reason, like if you have to actually, um, let's say if there's Maven and there is some Maven version, uh, in global setup it is Maven 3.0. but you want 3.2, again you have to add something else, some other version here and go ahead. But wherein now it is more specific to the project in which you are using it. Okay, just I'm trying to cross check once again. Nothing was there. So now simple. We'll go to a project.
Yes, Pandana, tell me.
Yeah, we'll go to a project. The build section. Verify. Use default settings, properties, and say anything. I said Shalom. I was telling you about we just saw there is something called as a pom.xml, okay, a pom.xml file, okay. So what is this pom.xml file, and how are we going to write this pom.xml file, and where is it going to actually sit in our code? Okay, first we'll see what is a pom.xml file. Okay. So a pom.xml file is a core of a project's configuration in Maven, it says. Okay, so it's a configuration file which has all the information which we need to build this, to build a project or build a code actually. Okay, so this is a small example of a pom.xml. What it says: http colon // okay, so Maven Apache or something, it's XML tag. It's all the XML tags, it's all XML tag. So it says the model version, what is the version of the pom.xml model version you are using. It's 4.0.00. Okay, group ID, some company group ID, you'll be getting it. It's not something that which is to be given whatever specified here, but something random which you can give. Coming to the important part. So what is the output in which you want your build, after running a build, what is the output format in which you want to generate the artifacts? I said packaging should be a jar format. Okay, and any dependencies that you'll be specifying here. Okay, and version will be specified here, Maven version, some scope, some dependencies, that's it. Nothing apart from that, nothing else will be there. So it's just the outline. But if we see a normal, actual pom.xml, you'll understand it more better. I just showed you a structure which doesn't have any data with it. Okay. Just okay. So this is a code which we'll be using to build an application. So what is it about? So source code, chat library, SM files, main file, which has some resources. Okay. So what is it speaking about is, show the controller file here. So Java code. Okay. So this is actual code. So what from the code I think you can understand. So it's a base controller in which I am saying it where it's a counter. Okay. So on the screen you'll be getting a message welcome. Okay. So whenever you're trying to refresh it, it will be adding the counter number one by one. It will print counter 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the actual functionality of this code. Okay. So target folder which has a var file should be written. Okay. I have an archiver. I have classes here. And some POM properties. What are the POM properties to be written? This artifact name counter web app dot something. So that name, the one which will be generated in the end after we do a build. So let's say you have to change the name of your file which is going for a build. Let's say it will be app.var. So where are you going to change? You're going to change it here, artifact ID. Okay. So log XML file. Something. Okay. So actual file which we have to look, the pom.xml. What is the pom.xml speaking about? Project schema. This is something normally have, right? com.mycon, something is mkon, that's the group ID which saw it earlier even in the artifact section. Artifact ID, counter web app. And what is the packaging type? There we saw it as jar, that's just a sample I'm saying you. But now my artifact type is var. It would be var, jar, er. It depends on your requirement purely. What is the version? 1.0. Okay. So name counter web app, Maven web app. It's the name I have given. Properties, Java version, Spring version, everything is there. And comes here. the dependencies. If you have any dependencies, you'll be specifying it here. And what's the group ID? JUnit, something with some, it's a test suite, some version. For the springs, it says Spring Framework, Spring Core, Spring Sub, Spring version. Whatever you want to exclude, common locking and all. And dependencies again. So all dependencies. The build section. Okay. You'll not worry, you'll not be the one who will be actually writing the pom.xml, but we should have proper minimum knowledge that if at all pom.xml is throwing some issue, then we should at least try to understand why it is throwing an issue. That's it. Apart from that, it's not expected that we are supposed to write the pom.xml. So this is a pom.xml which we will be using now. So one more step back. Just set one URL. The source code management section. We'll clone it directly from Jet. Just let's show some. So that doesn't matter. Let's come here. Okay. So whether it's something, still we are not yet to build a file, but we have some more something else to learn even. Okay. So we have seen pom.xml. So where is this pom.xml sitting actually? It is sitting, if this is your application, inside your application folder, your source and your target folder and some test folders, source, target, test. There will be some folders, okay? Along with that, in the same place, that is the next tab after your application name, there will be a pom.xml sitting, okay? So these are different what do you say, phases, or roughly saying different commands which we will be executing from Maven. Okay, so they are called default life cycle of Maven, life cycle phase of Maven. Okay, so now we'll see it one by one and we'll run it. Okay, so validate validates the project correctly and all necessary information is available. It will not do anything, but will just validate and check that all the required parameters to run this or to build this project are available or not. Let's say if it needs some word. If it needs a form version, it needs the artifact type export ID, it needs the group ID. So if we miss something, if when we do a validate, it will check and let us know whether we have given all the required parameters or not. Okay, and compile. It actually compiles the source code of the project. Test the compiled source code using a suitable unit testing framework, whatever that should be provided. Okay, package. Take the compiled code and package it in a distributable format such as a jar. Okay, integration test. Verify. Run any checks to verify the package is valid and meets quality criteria. Install. Okay, to install it, install whatever package we have got, that's the jar file or the var file. Okay, take into the local repository if you want to install it. We'll be using install. So you can do deployment as well using Maven. Okay, deploy as an integration or release environment, so wherein you can specify onto which node it has to do a deployment. So to clean the artifact created by prior builds, that is cleaning the repository. Inside it generates a site documentation for the site. But mostly what will be commands used is verify, validate, compile. This will be the commands that will be used mostly. Okay. We'll do it, save it on, we'll build it. We will change it and build it. We'll do a build now. It failed. Okay, doesn't have JIT, I guess. So where is it cloned?
Hello, Spandana. Spandana,
Hello, I will check
I'm
some.
unable to hear you.
Okay, I think she went offline. I will check with her.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, I got connected. Yeah, sure. So let's go to our workspace. Inside workspace, the pom.xml file, get source target, so pom.xml, right? And where is it trying to check it out from? It's the error it is throwing. Let's go back to build and see. Says var lib Jenkins cd jobs. What is the job? Project 1. There's a workspace for it. Says it's checked out. Var lib Jenkins workspace project, no such file or directory. Selections. Do one thing. From the section. System configuration. Release time. It is not able to pick up the version to retry to install. It is not seen in the configure section actually, so it is supposed to show there. See for some time and we'll install another version if it doesn't work out.
It is by default create a Maven build plugin, right?
Yeah, it's a build plugin by default, but still it needs some configuration. These build plugins actually need some configuration. Something section or something. Yeah, Maven. Just here. It has been moved to the global tool configuration section. Okay. It's a new version, right? So there is some issue with it. Use default Maven settings. But here in Maven, add Maven. Maven. Okay. And the version 2.9 or whatever you want. 3.2.3 or 3.2.2 or 3.333 or whatever it is. When I say add installer, class install from Apache, run batch command, run shell command, extract is directive. From which Apache version you want to install. Not going to do it anyways. Install from Apache only I did it. I've already given the version and even doing a save. Okay. So now back to Jenkins. Come into one by the test project section. the actual build path. It was throwing an error saying, tell from where it has to install. Now that error is gone. I think you can see that error which we were getting earlier is now gone. So now it asks you what is the Maven version which we have installed. Whatever is the name I have given, I'll be giving it here. .xml. Using all the default options. Then doing a build now. Still running. So first time when I did it, installed it. So now after this, slowly we'll see. So after getting a code from JIT, it is a building counter of Maven Web 1.0. Downloaded some plugin, whatever we asked it to do. After this, it is build a code. It is packing web app, assembling it in the target folder, copying web app resources, then building a var file. It built a var file, counter web app.var, and then build success. That's it. So it took 8.344 seconds, and something which is saying. Come back. Back to project. This building built. Okay. Fine. So where is something we have jitter? Just a second. Yes, sorry. We'll do one thing. What is there in this? Okay. Anyways, like we were able to generate a deployable, that is a var file. Using this Maven, whatever code we had for that, we did a we generated a
Spandana. Hello. I'm unable to hear you, Spandana.
Sampath, she'll rejoin. Wait for a minute.
Yeah, okay.
sorry because of this. Okay, so let's go back to global tool configuration section. Add and that need not be and, that could be any name whichever you want. The same way I did a save. Okay. New item. Freestyle project. Let's see and. So like Maven has a pom.xml file and has a build.xml file. which is almost the same like a pom.xml, which is almost similar. It has a project name, target name. This is all between the XML tags. So build, invoke, and if you want to give any Java options or properties, that could be specified here. Simply save. Where and save from where it has to pick up the code. Here you have and repository. This is a build.xml file. Says project name is in fact it's a base dir doll. Some code. So simple and repo. It's clone URL. Source code management. Git. Doing a build now. This is my project, right? So I'll show the code. It's a problem with the code which we had. It's a very simple one. Let's see what could be done at least with that. We'll get a new one today, tomorrow, the next session. In the configure section, let's change it to something else. build this there. We didn't give a source code directory. Deploy path. Clean at least. Build a clean. That should work. Yep. So why it was failing is, see, clean, it is just cleaning the directory, but when I'm saying build, it is building the source code actually. But in this project which we have taken, we don't have any source code actually. I mean, I didn't take any source code. I could have taken a source code structure. Probably I'll give a proper structure like how I followed it for Maven. So similarly, I'll give one to you as well. So there'll be a source structure and there'll be something like this. What this source, target, and everything. In that scenario, it will do a build. So, but nothing is there here. That's the reason why it is struggling. I've given it clean for which it will not require anything. It will just clean the repository. So it worked out fine. Which means that our plugin is working fine. We'll do it with the proper code tomorrow for just building it. So any doubt with Maven and Dan plugins so far?
So far, I don't have anything. I'll just practice it out once and I'll go through it again and let you know if I have anything.
Plugin, meanwhile, I'll share you the code if it's possible, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Chalo.
Okay.
We will. What else we have? Upstream and downstream jobs we have to see. Then we'll start off with Geos or Chef or Puppet, whatever is feasible. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Bye, Sampath.